It feels good to be back. It feels good to be back. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the What's on Your Mind podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Brinson. Can probably tell a little something different, Shout out my girlfriend. Shout out Wanda. Dyed the hair once again. In my ginger hair, and I really fuck with it. I've actually surprisingly got a lot of compliments about it as well. I say surprisingly because I'm not really used to getting compliments like that, and especially getting older. And again, thanks to my girlfriend, I really have been able to build up things like my confidence and stuff. And so I never really, even with now being someone who I consider myself a confident person now, I never go into things being like, oh yeah, I'm about to get all the compliments. People about to tell me all the praise. I try to look at it more humbly or just make sure I like it. And then after that, and make sure my girlfriend likes it. And then after that, move on from there. But a lot of people have been saying like, oh my God, I really like the color. And I've gotten a lot of good feedback on it. And so I'm really grateful to not only have this hairstyle, but to have good enough hair. Like shout out, I love being black. And Juneteenth was last month, and I'm really grateful to still be able to manage my hair and have long hair, and especially if you know me IRL in real life, like unless I had a protective hairstyle like braids, my hair didn't really grow super fast. But when I had protective hairstyles like braids and like the like single braids and like the cornrows to the back and all that stuff, that allowed my hair to grow pretty quickly. And then I transitioned from that to starter locks, and then I've had longer hair ever since. And I always grew up wanting locks, but unfortunately, there was, especially around that time, there was a stigma around the hairstyle to where um, I ended up just ended up waiting until I got in college to be able to have my own form of expression, express myself, and then end up getting locks. And then I've loved it ever since. So um, I was wondering like how I'm gonna do a hair reveal, and especially since I hadn't recorded in a while, I'm like I want to make sure that the hair looks good, and then I got a lot of topics to talk about. So I'm grateful for you guys being patient and for this next episode. And news before I get to the topics today. As a matter of fact, let me get the bit off early. Let me make sure I'm recording because I've started streaming. I started a Twitch. I'll probably edit the name of the Twitch in here. It's WOYM. What's on your mind? And then my last name Brinson. I'll hopefully put the thing up again, like I said. But I've started streaming, and it's been a really cool way so far to have an avenue of, first of all, officially starting WOIM radio, and being able to have a platform to where I'm not only gaming or just chatting and talking about stuff, but I can get like mini interviews in. Like I've actually had a few people to join the stream. Shout out Josh, shout out Deontay, shout out Alantez. Like being able to get conversations in with them, people that I want to get on the pod in the future for interviews, but being able to get conversations in like that to where it's very candid, very authentic, and very chill to where we're just gaming and having conversations and being able to get those type of moments, not only with people that I know outside of just the internet, but being able to practice more of my skills of asking questions and being a good listener and allowing conversation to pass, especially in heat of the moment like Fortnite and Siege so far. But I've been very grateful to have this platform and to actually have people tuning in. Like I had like 4 viewers the first stream, 9 viewers the next stream. Like people have actually been tuning in. I'm really grateful for you guys. And soon I'm gonna be streaming the new James Bond game. It's a 007 First Light. And in the future, I'd want to react to something like James Bond type of stuff because I realized I actually never watched a James Bond movie. I was getting him confused with Mission Impossible. But the game looks phenomenal. And my favorite game of all time is Uncharted. And it looks very Uncharted-esque. So to be able to stream a game like that, I'm going to hopefully have a lot of fun. But I'm also going to be streaming Siege, Fortnite, and also just chatting, really. Like, especially if I'm just on console, but just chatting, I'll probably just have like a game menu muted and open and just chat like that. Or if I'm streaming somewhere else with like a PC setup and be able to have a face cam, I'll be able to do the whole OBS thing. But we're going to keep pushing content out there, and I'm really grateful, like I always say, to have these opportunities and these platforms to speak to you guys and talk about what's on my mind. I really, really struggled to determine what I was going to talk about first today because there's been a lot of crazy stuff going on. So the gamer in me couldn't help but start with. So I think they mentioned as of 2028, around 2027, 2028, PlayStation announced that moving forward, they're not going to be making physical disc media. So you'd only be able to buy your games digitally on the PlayStation Store. And ironically, Xbox also announced that their next console, Project Helix, was also going to be made without a disc. And crazy enough, I initially, when thinking of my topics, I had like GTA 6 being the thing that was going to be the topic around not having no physical media because they announced it first. And they said like GTA 6 is going to be only available digitally. And a lot of people were frustrated at that and confused because GTA 6 had already announced that it's going to be $80 standard and $100 for the ultimate version. And I think it was Syriax on Twitter. If not, shout out Syriax regardless, legend. But somebody tweeted like, no, it wasn't even, I think Syriax said it too. But I think it was also Soluminati. A lot of people had talked about how GTA 6, for the better and for the worst, is going to change the gaming industry. And the moment they announced that there's not going to be any physical media, that alarmed a lot of people. But it seems like they were just getting ahead of the curve because PlayStation and Xbox announced like, hey, not going to be making physical disc anymore. And to be as objective in this conversation as possible, because I feel this is a very dumb decision, but I can understand the thought process when even somebody like myself, I just mentioned I'm going to be streaming 007. I bought it digitally. I didn't go and buy a physical disc. And that was my first game I bought in a while. And I haven't bought a physical disc in a while. And a lot of people said on social media, like, I've purchased a lot of my games digitally. Like I haven't, people are saying I haven't went out and bought a physical disc in a while. But the reason why I feel this is so stupid and why I don't like the decision is because I'm not a fan of taking away choice. Like if you haven't understood by now, I'm someone who thinks about a lot of things very complex. So I definitely compare this to shit like taking away abortion. Like regardless of your beliefs on these things, regardless of what you actually do, it's not fair to say just because it doesn't affect me and just because my beliefs are a certain thing, it has to affect everybody else. So just because you choose to keep the baby or whatever type of beliefs you have, now you have to put that on everybody else, especially that becomes religious. Like I'm Christian, but I don't put my beliefs, especially in that regard. And by the way, I'm pro-choice. If you can't tell the point I'm making, I'm not pro-life. But for those people, it's unfair to push those beliefs onto somebody that don't agree with that. And for the people who buy digital media and choose to have that convenience and choose the convenience over physical media, that's totally okay. But to take away the choice people have to allow that freedom to say like, hey, let's say if that game is cheaper physical. Let's say if they want to pass it on to a sibling or a kid. Let's say if they just want to be a collector. Like now, even if they just want ownership. Like, that's a whole nother part of the conversation, to where now this forces us to be in the hands of the developers. They can shut the servers down just like that. We can never play that game again. Internet can shut down, never play that game again. Like, it takes away freedom of choice, and it takes away ownership. And these things start, I would say they start at gaming, but like I've made the parallel, they started taking away women's rights, taking away gamers' rights. I'm black. Like, the more and more these type of things progress, it's like, I don't know. Again, we just giving in to the oppressor in more ways than one, and it's very frustrating to see that we just don't even gotta say so. Like, the decision can be made under our noses or without us knowing, with the understanding that we're gonna buy it anyway. I'm gonna buy GTA 6 anyway. I've never had the whole backstory. I never had the opportunity to play GTA 6. Shout out my household. And so this will be a very new experience for me. This will be a very fun game. I'm gonna try and buy it. So I'm gonna dive into buying another game digitally and giving into the thought process of having no physical media anymore. But I also have a disc PlayStation. You know why? Because it was cheaper. Like, and the shit was still expensive. Like, and I had PS4 games that were on disc. I had PS4 games that were digital. I had both. I wanted the choice. I've made the choice when it was convenient for me to either buy it digitally or buy it physically, because I'm 23 years old. I grew up with gaming, physical media. Like, to think that physical game discs are going to be a thing of the past when I have children in the future, like, that make me feel old at 23. Like, that is ridiculous, dog. That is ridiculous. And it was crazy because PlayStation announced, first it was GTA 6. Then PlayStation announced it. And then people was like, you know what? Shout out Alwyn. He was like, Xbox has the opportunity to do the funniest thing right now. In my interpretation, I alluded that to, or I interpreted as him alluding to Xbox could be like, okay, we're going to still go on physical disc and try to be the kings. Nope. They proceeded to be like, oh yeah, our next project, also going to be no disc. Thank you, PlayStation. Like, they're both fighting to see who's going to just F over the gaming industry and consumers more, especially from a price perspective. Like, here's the more fucked up problem. Like, my PlayStation Disc 5 was expensive. Like, right now, and they just recently raised the prices of PS5. The lowest you can get a PS5 right now, I think the lowest is for $500, no tax. So, and that's without an extra controller, without games. People are predicting that the next consoles are going to be around $1,000. My nigga, just buy a PC. Like, either invest in a PC, especially I'm a content creator and I just started streaming, either just invest in a PC, or if we're just keeping it from gaming, like, the stream machine is going to be around a band. And if you want a controller, I looked, like, you get, like, it's like $1,200. Crazy as the times we in. And again, I can't even front. The device I'm using to record this on my phone, the iPhone 16, luckily I didn't have to pay $1,000. This is a $1,000 phone. Like, we're going in times to where it's literally the better investment is to just get the computer or the stream machine. If we're keeping it gaming, at least if you want to get the controller for $1,200. If the rumors of the stream machine are true, like, if its peak power is where you can get a deeper catalog than PlayStation, any console, because you can get computer games. And, like, especially if you can mod on it as well, there would literally be no reason to buy a console anymore. You could get a gaming computer. You could either get a literal gaming computer, a PC, or the stream machine. That's those two things combined with a controller, and you get every benefit. Don't even think about the fact you could probably, if it has browser, I would hope it's a stream machine. I hope it has a browser on it, especially if they see how PlayStation moving. By the way, PlayStation don't even have a browser. So if stream machine people how they move it, and they allow you to mod, they allow you to have all the games that consoles can't get. PC, so you get every game that a console could get, and then PC games. If they could especially hone down on the hacking perspective, because it's gonna be a stream, so that'd be the only flaw. Even if you go to like PC gaming or streaming, consoles are cooking themselves. Like the people are already saying like they already not buying the next consoles and they're not even out yet. Now some of that may be capped, some of it may be true, but if you have to pay around a band anyway, just get the PC, because with a PC you can use a controller. With a PC you can stream. Why would you? I don't know. I definitely don't understand the decision. I mean, again, GTA 6 got the flag for it a few days prior to this, and they was just getting ahead of the curve. They like, hey, don't attack us. Wait till what y'all about to hear. So listen, making sure we getting this segment out of the way. I'm glad I was able to get that off because, listen, there's a famous line, there's a beautiful line that say, "This is a man's world," but it'd be nothing without a woman or a girl. Like, I really love my girlfriend. Shout out Wanda, because she introduced me to a lot of things that I would have never watched or thought about if I never met her. One of those things is reality TV, and she's not into like, rest in peace, my grandma. She was somebody who was also in the reality TV. She used to watch Love and Hip Hop, like Real Housewives, Love and Hip Hop. That was her job. Like, I used to come in when she in the room, she'd just be chilling, watching Love and Hip Hop. Again, rest in peace. Matter of fact, this necklace, this is to honor my grandma. Like, her ashes are in the necklace. It's pretty cool. And other than that, with my grandma, I never had a woman in my life that watched reality TV. And then my lovely Wanda introduces me to this crazy, dramatic ass show called Love Island. So it's been a lot going on. I'm glad I'm recording now because we at least, a lot is played out and we can take a deep breath and shit. Because if you aren't aware, Love Island is a show to where, and she introduced me since season 6. So I've been Serena and Cordell, Amaya Papaya and Brian, even though Alandria and Nick, shout out. But and then now we here to where, if you aren't aware, Love Island is a show that brings single horny 20-year-olds on an island, and I think Fiji is a beautiful island, like beautiful experience. Young 20 to mid to late 20-year-olds on an island, and for about I think in total a couple months, and they allow them to interact with one another. They couple the guys and girls up. Most of the people get to choose who they're coupled up with. If people who don't get picked, they get coupled up together by default. Important note. And they give them time to talk to one another. They could either stay in the couples they're in or mingle outside the couples they're in, and they can decide who they're going to be with. And about at the midway point of the show, we get to something called Casa Amor. I'm trying to give the rundown before I get this messy shit, because I'm going to start throwing names out there if you're not aware. So if you aren't aware, I'm trying to give you the rundown before we get into the drama. Throughout the midway point, you get into something called Casa Amor, to where there have been couples established up until this midway point. And so for the show to be messy, they bring in new people to try and break up the couples and see who really loyal to their original couple, who will leave, etc. Then at the end of the show, to my understanding, for what I've been explained and what I've seen from season 6 and 7, the winners of the show, there could either be winners or a winner. Either, from what I've seen from the past 2 seasons, a singular person wins, and then they can choose to either split the money with their couple or keep the money for themselves. Now for season 6, 7, 6 it was Cordell and Serena, or it was Cordell, and then he chose to split it with Serena, if I remember correctly. Please don't kill me if I'm getting that wrong. The next season, oh my god, I think it was Amaya and she chose Brian. Again, I am so sorry if I'm getting this wrong. The point is, season 6 and 7, the couples chose each other. I'll if y'all hear that, somebody is blasting something driving past. If y'all hear that, sorry. But if y'all don't hear it, it's vibrating. But I'll this is overview, but this will definitely be important for my thoughts for season 7 or for season 8 currently. But the winner either can pick the person who wins can either choose to share with their couple or take it for themselves, and it's like $100,000 prize pool. Now, with all the explanation out the way, I'm gonna give a disclaimer. Whether it's me as a journalist or just how I view people, like I'm not somebody that's into the gender war shit for my beliefs. And if you don't believe me, I've said this to people in real life. I said this to my girlfriend. I feel each gender is equal. I feel they're equal in the shit they do. I feel they're equal in the abilities they can do. Like women can do anything men can do. Men can do anything women can do. Love who you love. All the things you could combine into that. I feel men and women are equal. And so I'm not someone who feels like, I've heard people say, like, for example, I've heard this in real life, like men cheat more than women or men are less emotional than women. It's not true. What happens, especially with that, what happens is each gender is, especially, I don't feel like getting into my either college degree or just, I didn't even take that many philosophy classes, but each gender is trained up in their environment to think a certain way. That's why women traditionally are told they're supposed to do certain things. Men are told traditionally they're not supposed to do certain things. Don't cry. Women don't dress a certain way. It's all the bullshit that people tell you. I don't believe in that type of stuff. And so I say all that to say I'm going to criticize this entire cast. I think the entire cast is full of shit. Let's get that out the way. I think the entire cast is full of shit. A majority of the opinions I've seen, especially my lovely lady, Casey don't like Casey. So I'm gonna talk about it like this. So a lot of the drama has been around characters like surrounding Casey and Anaya. Not just Casey and Anaya, because we'll get into the real villain of the show. We'll get into Melanie and Sincere. We'll get into a lot of it. But a lot of the drama has been surrounding these people, Casey and Anaya. Casey's the guy, Anaya's the young lady, if you aren't familiar. And as I mentioned earlier, some would be important about the pairings of the relationships. Casey and Anaya were paired by default, meaning that they didn't choose to be with one another. In the original episodes of the show, Anaya, how they do it is they had, if you see my hands, they had a door in the middle, and then there was a guy and a girl. The girls were choosing which guys they wanted to be with. They chose based on a series of questions that the people answered. And Casey, before the pairing, I think they asked about like what a hobby he liked or something, and he said like he liked plants. Again, teach their own. I think plants are cool to be honest, but I don't got a plant, so I mean I can understand it being viewed as lame. So after that, a lot of the girls chose who they wanted to be with, and no girl was at Casey door. And for extra context, Anaya was with Melanie at Sincere's door. And now Anaya and Melanie are cool. Melanie and Sincere, I think. Think of that or what you will. But I actually think Anaya and Melanie's relationship is really beautiful. But, as a matter of fact, stay hydrated. For any ASMR people out there. Casey and Anaya were paired by default. And like I mentioned, Anaya was at Sincere's door originally. And I mentioned it to my girlfriend the moment that happened. I'm like, listen, that's going to matter for him for the rest of the show. Like, that's going to stick with him for the rest of the show. Especially as a young man, like, I feel even again as a person, not just as a young man. That's why I gave my beliefs earlier. As just a person, if you're not picked on a show about love, that's going to hurt anybody's feelings. I don't understand why people, a lot of women, but people have been trying to disregard that point. Even Anaya herself, like, oh my God, why are you still on that? Like, because of the same reason why because it's embarrassing. It hurt people's feelings. And so, foreshadowing, he never let that go. And throughout the show, from my perspective, now this will be from the opinion of myself, from the viewpoint of myself, and in my opinion, people with a rational brain. But even for the people who disagree, they also are rational. They have a different opinion of mine. But which is okay. Was very interested about this show, very social experiment. Like, it shows everybody different opinion and thought processes, which is I genuinely, as a podcaster, I love it. Give me content, give me shit to talk about and disagree with. Feed me content. Throughout the show, Casey kept expressing to Anaya, like, hey, there's kind of a discomfort when there's even the thought of expressing anything to anybody else or exploring anybody else, because it makes it seem like you'll be very upset. And in my opinion and interpretation, Anaya was doing everything to make the man feel that way. The nigga was smiling. He literally smiled. She looked at that nigga like, why you smiling so hard? Dog. She would throw, in my opinion, there would be moments where she would throw fits when Casey would show any type of attention towards anybody else. And specifically, there was a young lady named Soul, to where, mind you, also, Casey's dumb as well. Everybody getting criticism because this nigga waited till the young lady Soul. There was another young lady Soul where he seemed interested in. The nigga waited until Soul got eliminated from the island, packing her bag. He walked up to her like, I'm sad you leaving for real. Like, I wish I would have explored. Like, nigga. So, even though I can understand him expressing like, no, I ain't want to explore because like I ain't really comfortable. You can't. It's like he tried to make Anaya look crazy for even thinking he wanted to explore Soul, when in reality he wanted to. But then she made him look crazy when he expressed like, girl, you kind of trip when I even think about anybody else. Like, they both was tripping. So then there were also moments when Casey would try to talk to Anaya when she'll get frustrated. Hold on, I'm just making sure this mic don't fall off. Moments where Casey would try to talk to Anaya when she's frustrated, and she'd literally be like, I don't want to talk to you right now. Which again, human, get to do that, cool. The problem though, that was, I think if I'm not mistaken, that was like right before Casa Amor. And then she was on some like, you know what, do what you want. Now, obviously, she was saying that in the heat of the moment, she upset. But her words, do what you want. So then the boys went to Casa Amor. Now, some people stayed loyal. Some people didn't. One motherfucker was racist. Glad she was booted. And if you can't tell by the storytelling, if you haven't seen this show, Casey came back with somebody else. Casey came back with another young lady named, I think her nickname is TT. We just go call her TT. That's important for a lot of reasons. When the boys go to Casa Amor, or for when one side goes to Casa Amor, the other people who stay at the original island, the villa, they get new people in as well. So the boys went in to Casa Amor and got like a girl each. There was like 6 boys, there was like 8 girls or whatever. The girls stayed at the villa, and there's like 6 girls, 12 new boys came. And again, some people stayed loyal, some people didn't. One young lady hopped around. We'll get to her too. And then we get to Anaya. Now, whether it was the guy she was talking to, Carl. Shout out Carl. The people, the young ladies in the villa. The people at home. We all like Anaya, girl. Even you don't even know what's going on in Casa Amor. But even without that, explore Carl. She chose not to explore Carl in hopes that Casey would come back single and not have another young lady by his hip. Now, like you just heard me say a couple seconds ago, that's not what happened. Casey walk in with TT, Anaya is furious. This girl drops to the floor on her knees crying. Listen, I ain't gonna lie. Some people go kill me. It is what it is. Shout out Permita, the Persian cat girl, whatever she is, whatever she said. She says something like, girl, you crying like you've been married to him or something. Like, dog. Let me distinguish. I'm not laughing at that young lady's sadness. I really hate seeing women cry, especially black women cry. What I am laughing at and agree with, though, is that is a bit much, dog. Like, again, they kept trying to do the whole 3 days thing. It only been 3 weeks. Like, girl, in the nicest way possible, get up. Like I said, in the nicest way I explained it to people like my girlfriend or like young ladies or coworkers at work. Shout out Sanai. We had a great conversation. We disagreed. She agreed with my girlfriend. The majority like fuck Casey, fuck them in, all that. But me and my girlfriend had great conversations about this show too. Again, I wouldn't be watching it if it wasn't for her. But me and Sanai also had a great conversation at work to where we were talking about how who did the worst shit, and specifically when Anaya started crying, we were talking about that moment, and I explained it like this. I'm like, listen, especially with the black women I was raised around, especially my mom, shout out my mom. I'm like, if she would have saw my older sister, or even if my older sister would have saw Anaya crying like that over a dude after 3 weeks, they would have been very disappointed. And matter of fact, like during the conversation that I was having with my coworker, like it also turned in. We also talked about when Dylan started crying over Kenzie, and I also said that in the moment with my girl, like that moment is either gonna age cute or awfully, depending on if they stay together. If they stay together, okay, cool. She realized how she was doing the nigga wrong, and then they stayed together happily ever after. Yada yada yada. Dog. Especially if they don't stay together, that nigga crying over her. My coworker was like, dog, that nah. Especially she a girl. She like, nah, that didn't look right. So in the same vein, like if that was me and my dad saw me crying over a girl after 3 weeks, he would be like, nigga, like what are you doing? So that was a bit crazy. Something else also criticized the entire girls for. I'm like, yeah, all of them was tacky for this. I really didn't like when Casey walked in with TT. They was like, boo, like. And again, my girlfriend said like that's something they do, like even the boys have done in past seasons. It's very corny regardless. I don't think a group of young men should be booing a young lady for a decision she made about her love life. So vice versa, I think that's very tacky for those young ladies to do that, especially those black women to another black woman while she walking up. And they did say it's nothing with her, it's Casey still. And then, dog, I actually have grown to like Trinity a lot because when she first came on the show, she made that comment like, yo, that's you the reason why I got check phones, thinking like she cheating or something. I ain't really fuck with that. But she grown since, and I really like her and Bryce. Johnny, shut the fuck up. Like, dog. She be sticking her nose in Anaya and was sticking her nose in Casey and Anaya business. And then when Sincere tried to defend Casey, she like, shut the fuck up. Like, dog. That shit was really irritating me. And I fuck with TT. I really respect that she took up for her dude like you're supposed to do for your man, just like a man supposed to do for her girl, for his girl. Stand up when a group of women are ganging up on your man. Now, again, just like I said with Dylan and Kenzie, that moment ages really well if they stay together, really bad if they don't. But there's in no reality if a couple is right there and a group of women are arguing at the dude should not have to say anything. Because the people kept saying, which first of all, it wasn't true. Like, oh, she had to speak for him. You let a woman speak for you. First of all, it wasn't true. He started speaking first, and then they wouldn't let him get a word out. So then that's why she had to start taking up for him, first off. Secondly, that is what she should do. He should not have to say anything if a group of young ladies are saying something. The young woman that's right there should be saying something. Just like if it was reversed, if a group of dudes are arguing, first of all, this should never happen regardless on either side. But if a group of dudes are saying something to a young woman, the young woman shouldn't have to say anything. That dude should be defending her honor. So that TT handled that how she was supposed to, in my opinion. Corbin's an asshole. Again, them two lights get like him and Sincere the real villains, but it's Sincere. But Corbin's an asshole. I really respect his honesty. I really respect him and Casey relationship. You can't say you gonna throw a woman out the window, dog. Like even he trying to downgrade that statement a bit. He really was just like, I mean, I said it. I mean, he like it is what it is. But that's fucked up to say to anybody. That's very mean to say to somebody. Like and Casey, the way those young men went about some of them things, the things they did was very fucked up. And I'm not gonna be here to say only the women was wrong. I'm not gonna be here to say only the men was wrong. This entire cast has been fucked up and done a lot of fucked up shit. This is a very traumatic show. This show is crazy. And especially, I don't know whether to go to Kenzie next or Sincere. I'm gonna keep it on the guys because Sincere, and I actually fuck with Sincere. If he's genuine, I'm like, listen, he gotta take the lashes. He gotta sit and take it. Like everything Melanie's saying, he can't really, yeah, because he's been doing a lot of fucked up shit. But he is the real villain of the show. Like in my opinion, it's been like people have tried to make it seem like the worst of the worst has been like Casey, Corbin, Sincere. When I really think that shit is flipped the other way around. First of all, Sincere, Corbin, Kenzie, then Casey, if anything. And this nigga, they showed it on movie night. By the way, for another element of Love Island, if you aren't aware, there's an element called movie night to where they clip all the actions, all the shit up that they've been doing, and the things that the audience have seen that the cast members haven't seen. Yeah, they show it. They show it to the cast members. Very messy, and they show Sincere. This nigga Sincere will be in Melanie face talking about, girl, I love you. You the only one I want. Same day, go to Seoul. Girl, really, I like you too. Like, I ain't gonna lie. It'll be me and you. Was doing that for a minute. Chose Melanie. Melanie was on his ass. Like, nigga, you make me look crazy. You're hurting me. Blah, blah, blah. You think he done, right? The nigga went to Casa Amor and was doing the same shit, right? But the difference, then he told that girl, if we had more time, it'd be me and you for real. Melanie lost it again. I really hate seeing these women cry, especially black women. And like I said, I really love how Naya and Melanie have been there for one another when they've been sad. Because Melanie was like, you're making me look crazy. Like, how can I believe you? She damn near want to lead a nigga. I don't think she is. But she damn near want to lead a nigga because she like, bro, every time I believe in you, hold on, let me make sure we still rolling. Because every time I believe in you, every time I'm trying to do this and be like, hey, now mind you, she was kissing Corey and was all over Corey. And she was all over Corbin earlier in the show too. Again, Melanie not innocent either. But she on Sincere head as she should because the nigga been playing in her face the entire show. And it seemed like he finally getting his act together. We won't know, but I hope so. Like even Corbin, I respect Corbin. He like, bro, you gotta stop fucking up. Like that ain't Corbin, bro. Corbin a real Corbin just being honest. So whether for good or for bad, he being honest. And speaking of that, Kenzie, listen, I'm gonna mind my words because that's a young lady. Like, if you're 304, like, you know a calculator, dog. Like, bro, shit. That young lady was hopping around. That's the nice way of me putting it. And especially if you've seen the show, you understand. But even if you haven't, you know how I said she was the female Sincere. Let's put it like that. And it's crazy. She'll call Sincere lustful, but then when the guys was like, I ain't gonna lie, you kind of lustful too. She like, and she's a white young lady. She's like, oh my god, I don't mind lustful, bro. I even forgot it started with Zach. Then she went to Caleb, and she just not realizing and apologizing to Caleb because they showed her shit on movie night too. This is what they showed the movie night. I don't think they showed this action, but Caleb, Corbin, telling Caleb she like him. Back to Corbin, kissing Corbin, saying Corbin. I think she said to Corbin, like, it was to a point she asked Corbin for a kiss and then he's told her no. And then the next time she was like, you told me no for a kiss. And he was like, I'm only saying that because I'm trying to explore different connections. Then they kiss anyway. Then Corbin go to Casa Amor, like we said. And then Kenzie, she like, all right, you know what? And I respect her for this. She saw Corbin playing in her face. She like, good riddance. So then what? And after that, it was I think Dylan next. I think that's Dylan. But then she go from Dylan to Gall, Dylan and Gall, Dylan and Gall, Dylan and Gall. Like, and then even Jen, her friend, she like, listen, it seemed like she just like attention. Jen is another character on the show. By the way, Gall doing her wrong, dude. Like, and they don't like each other. I even said that to my girl too. Like, he didn't like her really. But this show is very messy. In terms of the non-messiness, even wait a minute, hold on, they're messy too. And I actually really liked Zach and Kata at first, but then I don't know. Kata, I'm not. Kata be tripping a lot sometimes, and Zach be on bullshit too because he was giving that nigga was giving the worst advice in the world to everybody damn near, and it would suck. Like you would even start to feel bad low key because he'd be trying to do some good, doing some fuck shit and fuck it up, and then he'd just be like, well, man, I don't understand. And he was fucking with the girl who ended up being racist. It was this girl, I'm not even gonna say her name, but they end up the fans revealing she was racist towards black people, racist. And she got booted off from the island. The only mistake Zach made, which I agree with, he came back and made it seem like, oh, I only was go choose you. Which I do feel he wouldn't go talk to that girl anyway. But he never mentioned she got booted off the show and then he didn't have another option. And then that's why he came back solo. I do feel that's some relevant information to bring up. I can get him being on some like it's not really important shit. I was gonna choose you anyway. Probably still bring that up, especially if he knew the reason why she was kicked off. But I mean, Bryce and Trinity, Trinity's a black, dark skinned woman. Bryce white. I think they're very cool. They're probably the leading couple right now, honestly, in terms of who's gonna win. Especially a lot of people who felt like Nick and Alandria should have won are probably gonna vote for Bryce and Trinity. Wouldn't blame them. I mean, they're pretty cool. I really like their love story. Let me make sure I'm not forgetting nobody. I don't think so. I apologize if I am again. I'm not really into the reality TV shit. This is the first segment, probably only segment, unless some other crazy shit happen. But this is the first segment they getting. Again, shout out Wanda for the What's on Your Mind podcast fans who would like this segment or like this show. Thank Wanda for getting the segment on this show. Man. Moving along. It been again. It makes my job as a podcaster way easier, especially off like a almost month episode layoff. Like gives my time a blast because we go transition over to hip hop in a bit because Dog, before I say this, because this nigga be watching shit, I would love to interview this nigga, but I'm also gonna hold this nigga accountable. One of the greatest rappers of all time is in his own right. Lupe Fiasco still on Kendrick Lamar. Like, he's still on the Kendrick Lamar hate train. In my opinion, shout out Deleted. He's a content creator. It's clear he's trying to bait Kendrick or something. Just release the Kendrick Lamar diss track again, dog. Like, release SLR4, dog. Like, I don't get it. He smoked Royce, and shout out Royce, another one of the goats. He smoked Royce. Lupe could battle, and especially I think Lupe versus Kendrick would be one of the greatest rap battles of all time. I think it would be a harder challenge than Drake was for Kendrick, and Drake's also one of the greatest. That nigga, and that was a good battle, but especially since Lupe clearly got extra animosity towards Kendrick. Lupe will have a lot to say about that, right? Lupe's a great writer. He's a great battler. Genuinely, he'll probably could think of a Kendrick diss track off the dome. But especially if he would take his time, it'd be a great battle. But I don't get it, Lupe. For context, for recent context, because we'll go through a timeline, but for recent context, Lupe Fiasco got into a stream in an argument with content creator and former battle rapper, Quality. Battle rapper name used to be Breezy Nice. He actually pretty nice. But he had a skit on Ray J. That nigga smoked Ray J. So Quality, he actually nice. Mind you, 40,000 subscribers. No disrespect to 40,000 subscribers. Hell, I got 17. Like, I would love to have the fan base he had. But for Lupe Fiasco, you would think he's not arguing with somebody with 40K, right? Quality and him getting into an argument. And Lupe pretty much came in on some like, why you want about it? Like, why you keep talking about me? That nigga Quality, I should have knew he was a battle rapper. That nigga Quality was like, listen, is how you say I talk about you for no reason the same way you talk about Kendrick for no reason? That nigga Lupe got heated. He like, I'm gonna talk about Kendrick. What are you talking about? Why are you bringing up Kendrick's name? Why are you talking about that nigga got so mad. Bro, then the conversation progresses on to Koala like, dog, listen. Why did you say, like, bro, you said it was like 50-some rappers better than better than Kendrick. Lupe, why you say that? That nigga Lupe corrected him. And even listen, I Googled it and it got a little AI overview. Listen, fuck AI. We're going to talk about AI actually in a couple topics after this. But listen, the little AI overlords to Google, they even gave the little timeline. Because Lupe corrected him. He like, nigga, I said it was hundreds better rappers than Kendrick. My nigga, you not better than him. One, in my personal opinion, Lupe nice. There's probably not even, let me just not even, because Kendrick's one of my favorites. So there's probably not even 20 better. This nigga said it was hundreds. And then he started naming people. Now, shout out Rosenberg Raw, because that's the first person he named off the top of his head that he's better than Kendrick. Even he was like, listen, dog, that's Lupe. I'm doing my own thing. I don't know if he said he don't even agree, but he like, listen, I'm doing my own thing. Lupe don't even fuck with me. Like, he wasn't trying to big. He said, I didn't take that as a compliment. Keep, like, you ain't have to do that, Lupe. I'll keep saying, Lupe Fiasco is way too good of a rapper to constantly be in a position to where he's being even framed as hating on another rapper. Because whether it's 2026 or all the way going back as to 2013, I mean, going back as to Control. I think I did start the list because it goes back to Control. I mean, back in 2014, Smith, I think that's when he originally had the Logic take that he feels Logic is better than Kendrick Lamar. And I think recently he even gave reasoning because he said, like, the 1-800, the song that's preventing, I don't know if YouTube is strict about that word, preventing self-harm, he says he feels that's one of the greatest songs of all time and that spearheads his take on Logic being better than Kendrick Lamar. And one of the greatest songs of all time, I agree. No, Logic's not the name. Like, Logic not the name. And matter of fact, what's crazy, even this was probably around the time, like, I think Lupe's had these takes he's had, at least especially from what I'm looking at with the little research I did, if this is correct. Like, he's had a lot of these takes for a while to where he's felt for a long time that battle rappers are some of the elites. And again, when he was talking to Quality, like, it's one thing to be like, I feel there are hundreds of better rappers better than Kendrick Lamar. That's crazy in his own right. He said that from what I'm looking at. He said that all the way in back like at least 2 years ago, 2024. But he didn't even start with Loaded Lux. And we gonna get to Lux in the next segment because him and Hitman, bro. Like I really hope that battle gets booked this year. But he didn't even name Loaded Lux, one of the first people, at least in this most recent times, as being a battle rapper that's better than Kendrick Lamar. But I mean, regardless, again, it gets to a point to where when people dig themselves in a hole so much, especially in a debate, they try to grasp to anything to try to stay as consistent as possible, even when their point is falling apart. This man Lupe said, matter of fact, right before the Hitman segment, we go give Nas some praise and Jay-Z some more praise. But this man even said, like, listen, if we like talking about the top lyricists for real, like Nas wouldn't even rank that high. I wouldn't rank that high. Like Lupe, dog. Listen, we love you, man. Nas is one of the greatest rappers of all time. You are one of the greatest rappers of all time. Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest rappers of all time. This don't need to happen every few years, dog. But and listen, before I get to the next segment, let me go ahead. Let me make sure. But shout out Santi's app as I do this because I always felt like I was crazy for stopping and getting up, making sure I'm still recording. But he and him and Sancho, shout out the rest of this cool podcast. He was doing it with like OBS. Santi was checking, like, are we still recording? Because they're traveling. So, hey, listen, I get it. Especially when you're doing it by yourself, and it's two of them, but they weren't in the same place. So you gotta do what you gotta do. But the benefit of being able to record this in two different sessions is a lot more information and a lot more stuff has happened. Because last night, Jay-Z is back. Like, I wonder if people still don't think the album is dropping because this man, he finally from the last pod that I recorded, it's crazy. The last pod I recorded this one is literally the Jay-Z performances. The last pod we talked about when Jay-Z had returned, he had the afro, he had the freestyle, he was killing Drake, Kanye. Now he's doing, I think, another 2 night. He's performing again, or I think a 3 night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I think. But last night, he performed at Yankee Stadium, and not only did he have another freestyle saying like, "Listen, I don't care about the Twitter activists." Like half a Billy, not half a milli, half a Billy in the black communities. Like Jay was talking his junk, but some of the stuff I find more things that are outstanding and stand out are bring his family on stage. Like, not only did Jay-Z's one of the greatest, if not the greatest rapper of all time. He's filling a stadium of people. So he kills the performance. But for him to have just, again, people use the word aura nowadays. It's no aura like having your wife come on stage and cut your hair and get you all clean and then come back out to perform. Listen, Jay-Z got the ultimate cheat code with that with Beyonce. He brought out Beyonce to cut his hair. And it's funny because for some reason people trying to listen. People, and I was just talking about this to somebody off camera, like, especially when black people get more and more successful, they try to pull at straws to try and try to diminish your greatness. Like, oh, you Illuminati, oh, you a pedo, oh, you're gay. There's nothing wrong with you gay. But they try to say that and be like, listen, they try to demasculize, make black women try to play them. Like, black people have to go through all types of bullshit just to be deemed successful. And Jay-Z and Beyonce are some of the main people where even I've said on platforms like, hey, I used to think I wasn't the biggest JMB fan. Now they're my favorites. And by the way, podcasters, listen, it's okay. You could say you were wrong or you change your opinion. Internet, it's okay. But and I've said that before with this platform. But uh, to be able to have that type of connection and be able to showcase like, hey, because a lot of people were saying, "Oh, Jay-Z, his hair looked bad. His hair is fake. Is it a lace front?" So they came out with a video. And listen, smart marketing. It is what it is. Came out with a video like Beyonce was literally doing his hair. She was using the hair product that she got and like moisturizing Jay-Z head. And then now when he brought her on stage, she was cutting his hair, and I think he back to the fade now. And because he had the video I saw, she was cutting it, but they didn't show like the final result. And then when he was performing, he had a hat on, and there was way no more hair. So I think he's back. I think the fade is back. I think we're like uh classic Jay-Z bald head, not bald head, but like waves low head, like Jay-Z back, man. And especially for him to have that type of head of hair at 60 and then for him to cut it off, like it all makes sense. Nigga, or I think he almost 60. I don't think he's 60 yet. But uh after that, he brought a lot of people. And he brought out Alicia Keys too, but I want to specifically highlight the family and then the GOAT Nas. But he also brought out Blue Ivy to perform. I think the song he performed was "Feeling It," and Blue Ivy was on the piano, and people so silly. They told him some Blue Ivy looked more like Beyonce than Beyonce. Like I think she looked exactly like both of them. It's crazy how genetics work and like how God worked just in, that type of creation. Because not only did she get their literal genes, she got the talent. She got the musical genes. Like it's not a guarantee just because one somebody famous and talented when they have a kid they're gonna be the same. She genuinely might be the next both of them. Like she be already dancing on Beyonce, dancing with Beyonce on stage, and with Jigga this performance, she was playing the piano. Like they seem like they're raising a very talented young lady and they're making sure they balance how much she's in the spotlight because she's Beyonce and Jay-Z's daughter. Like on one end she can do no wrong, but on the other end, just because she's their kid, they're always gonna hyper focus on them. So I love how they've built this connection between the three of them to where, and I think I'm pretty sure they have more kids, but in terms of the performers, um, being able to cultivate that type of legacy to where it go from J and B down to the kids, that's Black excellence I love to see. And if there's any moment that could be better than that, Jay-Z brought out Nas to perform. Again, I'm only 23. I'm not even old enough to genuinely, really, really appreciate that. And I'm still like, wait a minute. The niggas that made Takeover and Ether, the whole like Kendrick and Drake gets compared. Our generation's Jay Z and Nas was Kendrick and Drake. This would be like This would be like in 30 years if Drake, first of all, Drake and Kendrick are still performing. If Drake were to bring out Kendrick and Kendrick accepts and he dab him up, and like if they performed Poetic Justice like that, or like fucking Problems, like that would be crazy. So I think he performed New York State of Mind and something else, and then they dapped up. I think they was like performing each other. Jay-Z was rapping on Nas beats, Nas was rapping on Jay-Z beats, performing their songs. Like it was a Jay song, Jay-Z performing it on a Nas beat, and then a Nas song, Nas performing it on a Jay beat. I think that's how it was. Either way, one of the greatest moments in hip hop history. Still making some of the greatest moments in hip hop history. Them niggas old as hell. Like the old niggas still controlling shit. That's how you know, like, especially in hip hop, like, especially with blackness, ageism, it's not a factor. Like, black don't crack. We age phenomenally. Again, don't get me started. I think we connect to the Lord. I don't think people take it too seriously. I think we're connected to the Lord, not literally gods. But I with blackness, it really shows that longevity will always be the main thing that stands out. And when it's people like Jay-Z or people like LeBron, like that's the main thing. Some reason when people reach such levels of greatness, people try to use your greatness as your negatives. And so people try to use the fact that they're still doing it as like, oh, you're doing too much. Oh, they're old. Or, oh, I don't listen to them since back in the day. And yet Jay-Z still putting out some of the best music just from freestyling. Like his words and rap, that's the main thing that's impressive about Jay-Z in 2026. Like his main thing of rapping is what's keeping the people attention. Even with bring his family on stage, they're musicians. The music always comes first. Hip hop always comes first. Blackness, black culture comes first with them. And Jay-Z has a lot of criticism, B has a lot of criticism, but I genuinely feel they're, whether this is for good or bad, I think this is good. They're one of the best symbols we have for black excellence and how to showcase that it's okay to love a black woman. It's okay to be a father and have your family on performing with you and have them there in the moments and have people come to stadiums to see them and not have and own their own stuff. Like it's a lot of things I really praise and give benefit for Jay-Z and the Carters and Beyonce and all of them. So shout out uh shout out New York, shout out Yankee Stadium, shout out Jay-Z. Like New York is up right now. Like they deserve it. Listen, they've been going through a lot of them, like a lot of especially in the sports world, a lot of trials and tribulations. Jay-Z, the Carter family has been going through a lot, getting sued. So they having a blast, man. Shout out to them. And listen, make sure me take a quicker peek because I'm so glad I can talk about hip. I can have a lot of segments about hip hop and rap music because listen. By the way, before I even start the Hitman Holla and Loaded Luck segment, shout out to the legend Danny Myers. I'm very grateful. I always pray even before I record. Like I'm always grateful that I have a platform and have the opportunity to talk to people and express my thoughts and reach people that I thought I would never reach. Like I watch Danny Myers on my TV, like on my phone. Like Danny Rappers is a battle rapper who has been doing it for a long time and is really good. And he's so cold. This nigga, bro, he's been doing something this year to where he do like bars every week, like a freestyle every week. He literally saw a current event, and some people try to criticize this. I think this is fire. He saw something that happened recently, and I don't want to say. Well, matter of fact, he saw the news with Ice Spice and Tobey Maguire, and I'm not gonna have as a segment. Listen, them niggas mind their business, whether they were sharing the vape or whatever. That's not what this platform is for. But I will say if they was lying and that was a kiss, that nigga very old. That shit weird. But not this platform for this man Danny Myers. He had a bar that was so cold. He said again, shout out to Danny Myers. This man saw the Ice Spice and Tobey Maguire situation and said, before I saw Ice Spice kissing Spider Man, I knew y'all niggas was bitches on the web. like, like I knew all y'all niggas was bitches on the web. Despite that nigga code. Like, shout out Danny Myers. I'm very grateful for the follow. I would love to get an interview or just some type of conversation in whenever you have the moment, if you ever be interested. But if not, the follow is perfectly fine. Like, I'm a really big battle rap fan. If that hasn't been made clear on this platform, if you don't know me in real life, I don't talk about it. Loaded Lux versus Hitman Holla. Now, shout out all the other battle rappers, like I think it was Swamp, Jazz the Rapper, like Hitman dissed a lot of people. And for context, he released a song called Letter to the Culture. Hitman Holla was talking his shit. He dissed a lot of people, Jazz the Rapper, Swamp, and somebody else, Loaded Lux. Now, we mentioned, if you don't know, we mentioned his name earlier in the Lupe combo, and Loaded Lux. Loaded Lux is not just one of the greatest battle rappers of all time. Loaded Lux is one of the greatest rappers of all time. Like, that nigga nice. Like, especially in battle rap, even on beat, because Hitman, this started on beat. You need to be one of them to compete with Loaded Lux because battle rap for the most part is very direct. It's like, oh nigga, you a bitch, or my gun so big, or that nigga Rum Nitty. Matter of fact, Rum Nitty's my current favorite battle rapper. But there's like Rum Nitty, A War, Eunice, Loaded Lux, Tay Rock. That nigga Tay Rock, dog. Tay Rock might be the GOAT. Like I know Lux is weird. Tay Rock might be. That's a whole other thing. But especially the how much he battled Anderson Burris. Like there's some killers out there. But with Hitman Holla, he released a song dissing multiple battle rappers, including Loaded Lux. And at first, Lux had responded on, I'm not biased here. Lux had responded on some light shit, on some weak shit at first. and it was on some like, okay, each side is on some love tap shit. Like Hitman didn't really say nothing absurdly crazy and layered to the culture. He was really on some name dropping and put some bars in there that were like, oh shit, he really name dropping people. Lux gave something back, like, okay, nigga, I hear you. It didn't really pop off at first. Then Hitman Holla, which I really respect, because I'm like, listen, if you're gonna do the Drake thing where you're trying to do you're inviting the 20v1 and you're dissing multiple people, you either got to do one of two things: either find a very concise way to diss everybody in one track, but still focus on the main nigga. And there wasn't even a main nigga with Hitman at first. Lux is just the one that bit mainly. Well, everybody responded back, but Lux is the one that bit, I guess, twice and released a whole nother track. Because Jazz responded, Swap and them responded. I didn't hear their responses, but with Loaded Lux, Hitman, just like he dissed Jazz again, because Hitman released Letter to the Culture. Everybody responded, and Hitman, what I love, he responded to everybody individually. Either have a concise way to respond to everybody in one, or give everybody the individual time. And that's what Hitman Holla did. And he gave Loaded Lux individual time. He released Overly Loaded, fire. And my favorite part about this battle on beat is because these are people who usually battle rappers perform on stage mainly. So with this being on beat, I really love how the rebuttal game was crazy, because I think both sides have done really good, and I'll give my verdict at the end. But Hitman said a lot in Overly Loaded, to where in one of the lines he had bars bragging about how he's close with Nickelodeon. If you're unfamiliar with Hitman Holla through battle rap, you're probably familiar with Hitman Holla through Wild 'N Out. He's the tall, dark skinned bald dude. Wild 'N Out is a show that was I think still goes on, but used to go on with Nick Cannon, DC Youngfly, Carlo Miller, and I know 85 South got their own thing now. Conceited, Justine, I think Justina, the white girl, Charlie Clips, I think was even on there at the point, and then Hitman Holla. So Hitman Holla has been a legend for a while. He brought battle rap to Wild Out on TV. I mean, Hitman Holla has done a lot for the culture. And in Overly Loaded, he was talking about that. Like, yeah, I've done a lot for the culture. Nickelodeon. I'm with the Nickelodeon kid. Like, I'm cool with Nick Cannon. Bro, this is why I love battle rap so much. Because Loaded Lux has a really big fan base. Loaded Lux has a lot of glazers. Because Loaded Lux is one of the greatest of all time. I mean, I just was saying, he's not one of the greatest battle rappers, one of the greatest rappers. So Lux is smart. But Hitman Holla is also smart. Because even when I first heard the Nickelodeon lines, I'm like, okay, there's a rebuttal there that if Lux go there, battle over. That nigga Lux told him in his response, he said a lot in his response. That nigga Lux, he was going in on the response. You'll get bagged. You'll get bodied in the blue section. Shout out Screwface John for explaining that bar, because I didn't know at first that Hitman had a league, bags and bodies. And it was crazy. I watched, I think it's the Easy battle. They got the hoodies on the bags and bodies. I'm like, that's crazy. Shout out Easy the Block Captain too. That nigga nice. On stage, whatever you do off stage, that it is what it is. On stage, that nigga nice. With Hitman and Loaded Lux, he had that bags and bodies bar, but with the Nickelodeon thing, he said it to the end too. He like, hey, you know what they do to them kids at Nickelodeon, right? Are you bragging about being with Nick? Like, well, wait a minute. So I'm thinking, when I heard that, I'm like, ooh, that's that Point Lux. Like, there's no way. Some lines there's just no way to rebuttal from. I thought that was one of them. So then, I'm not somebody that holds rappers to time restraints when it comes to battles or even with music. I just say the longer you take, the better it must be. And that's the only criteria I give. So Loaded Lux took 2 weeks to respond to Overly Loaded with No Name, where he had the Nickelodeon rebuttal. And then Hitman responded to that shit in 2 days with a track called Bring It On. And please listen to all this music. Go, if you're not familiar with Loaded Lux, Hitman Holla, these niggas nice. And they're two different styles. That's what makes it so cold. Because even in Bring It On, Hitman Holla says, like, listen, I'm most straightforward. He must double entendre. And for better or for worse, sometimes the only critique of Loaded Lux is he's too complex to where it's not as direct on the first listen, and so that might hurt somebody's judgment about Loaded Lux. Whereas Hitman Holla, even if some would consider his writing more simple compared to Lux, it's way more direct, and I think Hitman was talking because he started off light, yeah, like all that shit. You think that shit a walk in the park? That shit, you think this a walk in the park? You don't amuse me, amusement park. He said took took 14 days to respond. That shit was 2 week, 2 weeks, 2 week. He took 2 weeks to respond. But then with the Nickelodeon rebuttal, he rebutted the rebuttal because Hitman was like, man, with the kid shit, man, stop it. I would ask if your kid like me on Nickelodeon, but you don't watch them, nigga. Did he say you don't watch them? Fuck it. I'm gonna shoot you with. I had sent a shot and leave you with a. We leave you with a. He said I think send you with a shot and leave you with a dead beat. You fucking dead beat, like something like that, because he schemed crazy. I'm like, listen, what a crazy rebuttal. I'm like, listen, I think if we're considering Letter to the Culture and Loaded's first response, round one, Hitman got that. But I would consider round one overly loaded, no name, and then bring it on. And then if Lux chooses to respond again, because Lux like, listen, after no name, he like, listen, we need to take this on stage. And I even agreed after no name. I didn't know if Hitman was gonna respond again. I'm glad he did. If Lux respond again, I'm here for it. Because getting caught a deadbeat, kind of crazy. And he hasn't released another track, but he's came out and said like, listen, Nick Cannon, hey, if you choosing sides, but I will say between Overly Loaded and No Name, I do give that round to Lux, but this rebuttal was very crazy. And then if Loaded doesn't respond, then you have to give it 2-1 Hitman because the next track is good enough to respond. If Bring It On was trash or not better than Overly Loaded, Lux don't gotta respond. Lux get the win, in my opinion. It's better than Overly Loaded, and it's a really good rebuttal to No Name. So if he doesn't respond, I give Hitman the audio battle overall, and then either way, we got to get on stage. I do think if I were to make a prediction on the stage, Loaded Lux would beat Hitman in a very competitive 2-1. But listen, Hitman Hollow one of them. His third round against Mook, it's weird for me because I don't know them in real life, so I don't know if all that's real. And so I did say if that is real, that's very fucked up about Murder Mook, and the Hitman gets the win. If that third round is not true, or if it's more or less true than is true, then that's corny, and I gave Mook the third round, and then Mook won. So but whatever, I say that to say that battle was a very competitive 2-1 in my opinion, where people felt like Hitman was going to get destroyed. People with this battle are saying, "Oh, he don't got nothing for Lux. Lux is you can't touch." People do this with Lux all the time because of how good he is. But the nigga can be beat. Like Rum Nitty 30, the nigga, in the most respectful way possible because all three of Loaded Lux's rounds were really good. That nigga, that nigga Rum Nitty told that nigga, "Your plane flying overloaded like a Learjet." Like, like, duh, your plane fly you overly loaded like a Learjet. Nigga, you work out, you think you so healthy, well, you know what's the healthiest? A vegetable state. Like, that nigga Rum was good. Please watch Rum Nitty versus Loaded Lux. You may even take it away and be like, listen, Loaded Lux won. That's the beauty of battle rap. It was a very competitive sweep to where if you prefer Lux, you would say Lux 30 Rum. But listen, that nigga Rum Nitty crazy. But I do think, regardless of who wins this battle, I don't think either side gets 30. So I'll say it like this. Because Lux is one of them, especially his most recent battle. If you want to watch each person's most recent battle and think who, like, get an opinion, you'd watch Loaded Lux versus New Jersey Twerk. New Jersey Twerk is also really nice, too. I think that was a 2-1 Lux. I think I gave Twerk the first, and he just rapped a little long, and then somebody had the perfect explanation for that battle to where Twerk wrote for the crowd. New Jersey Twerk wrote for the crowd because they performed in front of a crowd. Loaded Lux wrote for New Jersey Twerk. he wrote that. But pause. But I don't think between if Loaded Lux and Hitman Holla were a battle on stage, I don't think either side gets 30. and I don't think either side gets washed. I think it'll be a very competitive 2-1 to where you could debate it either way. And I think Lux would win. Again, I'm not crazy either because shit, Lux is one of them. But I'm also not crazy to act like Hitman Holla is some slouch. And the Hitman Holla is probably the better performer. And that's Hitman. That's a strength in battle rap. And that's Hitman's strength. So even if, let's say, the lyrical shit is one thing and you give that to Lux, if Hitman has some crazy shit and perform a nasty bar or even just get on that deadbeat, again, if Hitman, because we know Hitman to take it there if you listen to his third against Murder Mook. So if he goes there with Loaded Lux, he better be prepared for Lux to go there. And in battle rap, whoever wins the coin toss and goes second, that's who has the advantage. So I think if Hitman can win the coin toss and he ends up going last, like it's loaded Hitman, loaded Hitman, loaded Hitman, I think Hitman can, I don't know. I think Hitman can sneak a victory. And this would probably be, because this wouldn't be the biggest win in Lux's career because Lux been battling for so long, and Lux, some people feel Lux has a win on Murder Mook. I feel they both, I think they were 1-1 each other with their battles. So, and they're each considered some of the greatest battle rappers of all time. So their greatest wins are against each other. But for Hitman Holla, if you think Murder Mook is better than Lux, and if you think Hitman won that battle, then that would be his greatest win. But if Hitman can pull off a Loaded Lux win while he's the underdog, Danny Myers also said it, like, it feel like it's something in the air. Like, don't doubt Hitman just because Loaded Lux is a legend. Hitman is a legend too. And I really hope this gets put on stage because it's cool for the beat. Like, if these were industry rappers, it's fine. But y'all main thing is battling on stage. Usually it's get to the booth. Shout out Gina Views. Usually we want these niggas to get to the booth. Y'all two, get to that stage. Like, for real. But shout out Loaded Lux. Shout out Hitman Holla. We gonna keep going. Is that my last? That is my last hip hop segment for the day. Oh no, it isn't. That's my matter of fact, no, it isn't. Let's keep it music because let me pull up the entire list real quick because I actually really like a lot of the names that were on the list this year. So let me pull up the whole list before I introduce the topic officially. Some of y'all probably like, what list? Okay, they got it really cool. Okay, they're doing a little much. Shout out XXL and the creativity of y'all list, but I'm trying to get like a list of the people in like order. Okay, let me. Watch, I'm going right back to the same website. Appreciate y'all patience for this, cause I'm trying to get. I want it show me. Okay, should I hate using the AI overview. Let me make sure. Like, yeah, no, I don't want to trust the AI overview. I'm sorry. So let me just go ahead and find another XXL. Listen, I'm trying to be very patient. Like your website is very frustrating. I'm not trying to do this one by one. Okay, you know what? What I'll do, I'll have that open as the reference because I'm not trying to. Is that XXL? Y'all need that to be way more simple than it is. The creativity is cool, but that's doing too much. So, the XXL 2026 freshman list has dropped, and if you guys aren't familiar, the XXL freshman list every year they try to find hip hop's newest acts and freshmen. They call them freshmen, but a lot of these artists have been rapping for years at this point when they get picked. Even when it was more accurate, like new artists, they still had been established a little bit. But they find up and coming artists and give them a platform to freestyle, be a part of a cipher, which is a lot of rappers rapping on one beat to try and like compete against each other. And they give them a spotlight. And people have been very critical of XXL over the years because they feel like the list has kind of dwindled as years gone on. I still look forward to it every year, and I think they did a really, really good job with having names that weren't known and then having names that were really, really known. Like, The main one I'm gonna shout out, and I haven't listened to the freestyles yet because I don't think they're all out. I want to wait till all the freestyles are out and then all the ciphers are out, and then they're gonna have their own segments on the platform, this platform as well. But if it's two very specific people I want to shout out Chris Patrick and shout out Babyface E. I'm from Detroit. I'm from Michigan, so the Babyface E pick is I'm really happy with Babyface E. But for Chris Patrick, for me to first see him in the Pokemon Cipher, it had one of the best verses. That whole cipher was cool. I actually listen. Shout out Chris. I think Kids had the best verse on that. What was it? 2019 Pokemon Cipher. But Chris Patrick went in, and to see him go from here, he was on Kai Cenat's stream, and now he's an XXL freshman. Like, I'm really proud of Chris Patrick. I'm really proud of Babyface E. And to read the whole list, because I'm really proud of Trim as well, because I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm a devil that done my whole body. He want to buy me a new body, even though he fell in love with my whole body. Like that, she was going in. And listen, especially because Nicki been on some weird shit. Thank you for being the new Nicki Minaj, and she's the only Trim. So artists understandably don't like when people do that, but she sounds a lot like Nicki. She looks a little bit like Nicki. I hope she doesn't take that as an insult because Nicki is the greatest, in my opinion, woman rapper of all time, and one of the greatest rappers, period, of all time. But I just haven't been the biggest fan of the trajectory she's been on. So to see Trim come up and make her own path, I'm really proud of Trim. But to read all the names, we got Babyface E, Belly Gang Cushington, Chris Patrick, Hurricane Wisdom, Larize. Shout out Larize. You from Louisiana? I'm pretty sure from Louisiana. Shout out Larize. Miles Minnick, who it confirms on the XXL site that they were the fan vote winner. Shout out Miles Minnick getting the 10th spot. Skrilla, 6'7". Shout out Slayer. So I wonder, because Slayer, it seems like he got a pretty big fan base. I haven't heard of the dude, I haven't heard his music. Well, I thought I never heard the dude. When Playboy Cardi says, I'm a rock star, I could join Slayer. Like, I thought Slayer was a band. Is that what he was a rapper? Like, shout out Slayer if he was. But shout out Slayer, Soso Camo, or SOS. No, it's probably Soso Camo, Trap Dicky, Trim, and YKN, or YK Niece. Either YK Niece or YKN East. No, YK Niece. And then shout out DJ Drama. Like, I think this is a really good list this year. I'm familiar with Babyface E, obviously. Chris Patrick, like I said, Larizi, Skrilla. If that is who Playboy Cardi was referring to, I've heard the name, but I'm not familiar with the music. Trap Dicky, he's I think TDE's one of their new signings, and Trim. So that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow. 7 people that I'm familiar with out of 12. Like, that's a really good, that's, in my opinion, that's really good because that leaves more to be desired for the people I don't know. And there are some familiar names. And these, like, Chris Patrick is a rapping ass nigga. Babyface, he can flow. Trap Dicky, I seen a little bit of him. He can flow. Trim can flow. Larizi can flow. Like, these are niggas that can rap. And I'm not gonna kill old dude because I think that I don't trust nobody. Like, I think that's him that's his song, and that song's really fire. So I'm not gonna kill Rich Amiri, but I understand the pushback for when a rapper says, like, we shouldn't have to rap for XXL no more. Like, dog, I hate that take too. I get his point, and I even think his point is correct. There needs to be a bit of restructuring for modern days, but don't take out the fucking freestyles and ciphers. Not only is that what made XXL, that's what rap is all about. That's the origin of actual rapping. A bit. Listen, do what you want, make the type of music you want. You have to be able to know how to rap if you want to rap. Like, and if not, don't accept. There are many people who were offered and didn't accept XXL because freestyle is not their thing. That's okay, but don't try to restructure it or ruin it for the motherfuckers who want to be lyricists, who want to freestyle. Like, there are people who were introduced to that, the freestyle or the cipher that had Chris Patrick, Larizi, I think Proof Son, like, all of them could have been a part of XXL. Like, niggas is nice out here. So if you can't rap, stay over there, do what you want to do, and then let these niggas rap. But shout shout out XXL. I think XXL did a really good job this year with 2026. And one more thing to be a bit serious in terms of music, I want to talk about. I even said it earlier, like, listen, if you can't tell, I'm not the biggest fan of AI. I think as a tool, as an assist, AI is it can be phenomenal. I think um, using AI to assist you with something, to help you with something, like I remember I would use I've used AI before to help me with like MLA citations when you're done with a paper and you need the citations at the end. I've used AI for that. But people doing shit like using AI to write papers and shit, do shit for you and steal music, I'm not a fan of. It came out that there were AI companies that were using a lot of artists' music without their knowledge. I mean, anywhere from artists I listen to, there's an artist I listen to named Crypt that came out and said a lot of their music was taken. Another artist named Fable came out and said a lot of their music was taken. Up to people like SZA. Like SZA came out and said like some of her songs was being used by AI company, and then you can pull it up, like you can Google it to where it shows the songs that's getting used for AI in this database. And these artists did not know it all. And it's crazy because a lot of them don't really own Crypt and Fable. They're independent artists, and AI just pulled their shit without knowing. People like SZA are like on a label, and they could just do, I guess, do what they want with their music. Like it's very, in my opinion, it's very messed up, and it's very important. Even people like me who are trying to be entrepreneurs, have creating things out here, like you need ownership of your stuff, because even when you do, it seems like AI can do whatever it wants anyway, but it at least gives you that other uh, cushion and protection that allows you to be safe in the art that you create. Because I would hate if like somebody were to use my voice from this pod for no permission and like on an ad or something. It get weird. This AI shit get really weird. I'm not a fan. I'm a fan of it as an assist, but not as a driver thing. When you look up shit now, you gotta say minus AI if you don't want an AI review. Like it's a little too much. But UFC 329 is today from what I'm recording it. And listen, the UFC is better when Conor McGregor is a part of the UFC. And he's been going on press runs. He had the Ariel Helwani interview. I've been watching Wade Plem from the Wade Concept cover the build up to this fight. And listen, I'll be honest, one of the main reasons that this had to get a segment is because I don't understand. Listen, I want McGregor to win. I'm cheering for McGregor. I think he can pull it off. Hold on, let me fix the camera a little bit. But listen, um, I think McGregor can pull this off, but why do niggas think Max Holloway is sweet? Like, why is Max Holloway the return fight? I remember when CM Punk left WWE and fought Max Holloway and got his shit whooped. Like, I don't want to see McGregor get did like that, dog. Like, I don't want to see McGregor come back all confident. He seemed sober, he seemed clean, he seemed level-headed, just to get his ass kicked. Like, if he win, bro, don't let him pull up and beat Max Holloway a second time after being laid, after not fighting all these years. He's about to be right back on the face of UFC, right back on the top. The UFC may have their, I would say, replacement. Conor McGregor has earned, I think, more than John Jones. But for them not getting John Jones back, if they pull Conor McGregor back, a McGregor that's still good, they're back in business. Especially with the Paramount shit. Like I also want to congratulate Mighty Mouse. Shout out Demetrius Johnson for being inducted into the Hall of Fame, especially with his story. I'm surprised and grateful that he accepted it. Like he was someone who was very critical of Dana White and very outspoken on him feeling like he deserved more. And he was a legendary fighter. He was undefeated for a long time. He doesn't have that many losses on his record, period. And I'm very happy to see the UFC acknowledge his greatness in that way. And UFC 329 is a big event. There's a lot of good fights. Patty Pimblett is on the co-main. I think that's going to be a very good fight. And I'm very excited. I definitely wanted to give them a segment on the pod. And going from UFC over to this next topic, while I'm continuing giving kudos, I mean, there are a lot of people who feel when people get successful, they're owed things to people less successful than them. And I think Kai Cenat has done a great job at cultivating a really big platform for people to get opportunities with Streamer University. This is the second year of Streamer U, to where Kai Cenat said, as long as he lives, as long as he's able, there's going to be a Streamer U every year. And there were a lot of people who were bitter. I mean, like, oh, it's friends and family university. Now, the jokes are the jokes. The jokes are funny. I mean, the nigga did invite Sky Jackson. So, I mean, hey, friends and family, it is what it is. Famous people being there, it is what it is. And a lot of people don't know how content works, because for the people, and shout out Omizi, he gave a good overview of a lot of the people who were accepted. And there were a lot of people that I didn't know when they showed the clips of them reacting and screaming. Like, I didn't know a lot of who those people were. And it's a good opportunity for those people to mingle with the famous people and build the less famous brands and get people showcased. And it's a good time in the content space right now. Like, it's so funny, the alumni and the people who didn't get accepted. There are people like DDG and Funny Mike sending Kai Cenat diss tracks while also battling each other simultaneously. This nigga DDG remixed Janice Shut the Fuck Up with Mike Shut the Fuck Up, like Funny Mike. Funny Mike keep dissing Kai. Kai told him, like, he tried to tell him and DDG, like, listen, you got 48 hours to delete that diss track or else. That nigga Funny Mike dropped his second diss track and called it 48 hours, which is a bar, by the way. Duh. This has been a great time in the entertainment space right now. Like I said at the beginning of this pod, I've recently started streaming, so it's a great time to get some content out there. I'm having a blast. They're having fun. Shout out. I'll put them in this segment as well, because when I'm critical, but I'll be fair when I see good things. Dean the Great and Adrian Broner have started their 24-hour for the next however many days streams of working out. They're both trying to get back in shape. And listen, a sober and in shape Adrian Broner is one of the most dangerous motherfuckers on this planet. Like, Adrian Broner, his prime was one of the like coldest boxers in his era. So Adrian Broner not no slouch now. So a healthy in his peak prime Adrian Broner, don't let misfits send the call. Listen, and just for their careers, them stopping all that crazy shit and being established and being on a good path, I love to see that, especially for two black men, Dean being a young black man. I love to see it. And they both got hands. Dean got hands too. It'll be good. It'll be great for him to pick up a lot of things boxing wise, and just hopefully in general a lot from Adrian Broner. I mean, I love to see it. But I'll at first this was gonna get his own segment. I'll throw it in here at the end since we're talking about streaming and Kai. But yo, that's very fucked up what happened at your age. If you aren't familiar, and I've even had the pleasure of meeting your age in DreamCon all those few years ago. And shout out, DreamCon's going on now. Shout out Brian and Jordan, y'all there at DreamCon as I record this. But if you aren't familiar, your age is a pretty big content creator, and he unfortunately was robbed by his well, let me not say robbed. That make it the connotation make it feel like somebody put up on him and robbed him. His best friend of 25 years stole money from him, to where I think Rage gave him his card and he spent like over $100,000 on his card. That nigga crazy. Like, Greg, that you just don't steal from people. Period. Yo, man's 25 years. That's sick, dude. So I pray for Rage. I hope he's straight, bro. I'm not even gonna highlight it too much to make it a big thing, especially since it's been a minute now. But shout out Rage. I hope he's good after that. I hope he can hopefully, I know the money not the biggest deal, but I hope he can find a way to allocate not just the money back, but the trauma back. Like, that type of betrayal of somebody you've known all your life. Like, his mama probably know that nigga. Like, I can't believe that shit happened. But before I let y'all go, listen, it's been so much to happen in the sports world. We already talked about UFC a bit. Listen, the NBA is on a tear right now, because listen, we still don't know where LeBron James is going. There have been some teams on his that have been rumored to be in his consideration, but I'm just the type of person, I know better at this point. I'll just wait till when the news drop, record it on the pod, go from there. But ever since the last pod, the Boston Celtics traded Jaylen Brown for Paul George. Listen, Paul George, nice fellow podcaster, good at his job too, good podcaster. I actually Paul George still nice. It's just he's out of his prime, and Jaylen Brown's an MVP candidate, averaging 30 almost. So for the Philadelphia 76ers to have Jaylen Brown, Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, VJ Edgecombe, like that's a nice ass lineup. Put some pieces around that. That's a dangerous team. Even Boston. Boston's still dangerous, even with Paul George. It just really now we're gonna focus. The conversation is about to get even more toxic because now we're really gonna focus on who's really better between Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. They each got their own team. They each got their own situation. Is the grass greener on the other side, or is Jason Tatum gonna show who it really was between the two of them? I really hate that they even need to be put up against each other. People have been trying to do that for years with those two black men, and people have finally succeeded now. And now Jaylen Brown, they made him seem like they tried to say that nigga was, oh, he's a problem because he act like he's the smartest in the room. Don't that nigga got a degree from Stanford? Like, in the nicest way possible, he's most likely the smartest person in the room in a lot of rooms he walk in. Like, he's college educated, so that puts him above a lot of people in the nicest way possible. And then he's college educated from like one of the best universities ever, and he's an athlete. Like, even though it's not a good thing, like those type of niggas probably are gonna be a little snobbish. Like, I would be too. I don't know. Like, he don't seem like a bad dude. It's the city of Boston. They be on that weird shit anyway. But there were more trades, and there was another trade that we thought was going to be pretty pivotal, and kind of shake things up in the East. Kawhi Leonard was traded back to the Toronto Raptors, but they put that trade on. Wait, you ain't gonna do that? No, put that on pause, and they're still investigating that nigga for that. There was he was allegedly pretty much getting some bread under the table from the Clippers. Really, I ain't gonna make it too complicated what it is. He was allegedly getting some bread under the table, and that's pretty illegal. So if that was the case, they're investigating his ass. So that trade has been put on pause. What were some more? Ja Morant was traded to the Portland Trail Blazers. That was pretty random, but I love that Ja is getting another opportunity. Walker Kessler, the Lakers were able to sign Walker Kessler to a pretty nice deal, pretty good deal. They had to give away a lot of draft picks, and they were also able to get off DeAndre Ayton. So Luka Doncic is my second favorite player behind LeBron James, and I'm a really big Austin Reeves fan. And I actually am a Walker Kessler fan from NBA 2K because I play a lot of my league, and Walker Kessler, that nigga is a nice addition to your squad, bro. Nice little double-digit center, get you some blocks, 7-2. So that's the only reason I know Walker Kessler, because y'all niggas, listen, I am not watching Utah Jazz basketball. I might start because that nigga Darren Peterson, he seemed nice. But I haven't watched Utah basketball since Donovan Mitchell was there. So I'm glad to be hip from 2K. And I ain't gonna lie, it's been a very 50-50 reaction to the trade. Stephen A, that's not in the segment either. Stephen A was also on some BS, giving his opinions about, these white boys. But do I feel like they overpaid for Walker Kessler? Absolutely. Do I think they did a bit too much? Absolutely. I'm not gonna lie. If I got Luka Doncic on my team, I don't give a fuck about the future. Nigga, it's win now. Like, we just got off of LeBron James. We have Luka Doncic, and they paid Reeves a shit ton of money. Shout out Reeves, bro. Especially for an undrafted player. Again, do I think Reeves for a championship piece is worth all that? I need to see a little bit more in the playoffs. That's just me. But I ain't a pocket watcher, and especially for him to go from undrafted to getting almost 20 mil, that's a success story in his own right. And the nigga, regular season, the nigga a demon. So regular season, he deserved it. But I just didn't want to see a little more in the playoffs. But for me to have a core of, hey, you're telling me, listen, for the next few years, I got a core of Luka, Reeves, and Walker Kessler, and then figure out the rest. I'm not mad at it. I don't really know what the fuck the Lakers are going to do with some draft picks in the next few years. The flaw of a move like this, just to not seem like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm just a Lakers fan or a Luka fan. the flaw of a trade like this is that if you don't win, or like if Luka leaves, for example, or if Reeves he doesn't pan out to do better in the playoffs, or if Walker Kessler isn't good, like if the bad goes bad, they're fucked up. They're fucked for the next almost 10 years. Like that's how much draft capital they traded for Walker Kessler. But while it sounds crazy to do it for Walker Kessler 7-2 besides Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, I think at bare minimum that court can be a 3 seed and up, and I do think this can be a championship team if done right. It just has to be done right. It just has to play out right. They added Colin Sexton, Quentin Grimes, and those they cool. But and I think they also got recently they got Kevon Looney. That pickup is big. Matter of fact, let me fact check that because I really love that move for backup. Even though he's not really a center, to have a backup like Kevon Looney, let me make sure that was accurate because that's a huge pickup for report. Yep. He chose Lakers. Really, I'm reason for joining the Los Angeles Lakers. I really like the little the Kevon Looney edition. Some article they was just saying like it was underwhelming to them in their opinion. I don't know, but they do need a backup like center because Kevon Looney, I think he plays like a center, but he's like 6'9", I think. If they can get a backup center, I'm surprised they didn't keep DeAndre Ayton. That just showed they was done Ayton. But I really think the Lakers gave themselves a nice core to at least be a top 3 at worst 4 team in the West. And I do think with Luka Doncic put them around each other. I think somebody called the team like worst 2024 Mavericks, which I mean it is what it is. I do think they're good enough to make a run. I don't know if they're the favorites. I do still think, ironically, I said this to my dad on the phone the other day. I think the favorites are still the Knicks and the Spurs, especially if LeBron go to one of them. But the NBA, I think for some reason, a lot of people try to act like when LeBron, Curry, when KD, when all them retired, the league's gonna be like in shambles. I will feel old because I don't know basketball without LeBron James. So when he retires, when Curry, KD, and all them retire, that's gonna be my inclination. Like, damn, I'm really approaching 30, but I think the league is in great hands. We got people like Luka Doncic in the league to where people feel like he probably won't ever win an MVP. Because you got people like Giannis, Jokic, Embiid, Shea, Tatum. Like the league is in really great hands. I personally think Luka Doncic is the third best player in the league, but I'm a Luka Doncic fan. Again, other than Wemby, Jokic, and maybe Giannis, give me Luka, and I'll take Luka over Giannis. But I don't think that's crazy if you take Giannis over Luka. But after that, after those 3 names, I don't know a name better than Luka Doncic. That's just me though. But shout out to NBA. The NBA is in great hands. And to kind of, we almost out of here. I really appreciate you guys to almost wrap it up. But to wrap up the sports talk, I'm gonna say that to the end. Matter of fact, well, no, I ain't gonna throw that in there for the sports segment. But to end the sports segment, the WWE. That's how we just start the segment. So listen, the WWE has been in a period to where I think they've been a bit creatively bankrupt to where they say they want young stars, old stars are the top competitors. And even though I'm about to be very phony in the next few seconds, I'm gonna get the criticism out the way first because I'm about to be very phony because they very slick. This company is very very fucking slick because the way they get to shit is so botched. But the final destination, shout out the greatest movie franchise of all time, in my opinion. Because why I got my goats as the champions, dog? Like again, it makes me very mad that this company makes me mad a lot. I love what they're doing with Obafemi, but the company would big up people like Obafemi and Trick Williams, but they can't muster up to say Black History Month. That pisses me off. They let Obafemi win King of the Ring. And when you win the King of the Ring tournament in the WWE, the King of the Ring is a tournament for people who aren't familiar with the WWE. And when you win that tournament, You're supposed to get a title shot at SummerSlam. Obafemi wins it, but throughout the whole tournament, he's calling out Brock Lesnar. And people are wondering, like, oh, is he going to do double duty? Is Brock Lesnar going to cost him? He still won the tournament. So now we're like, oh, okay, bet. What's going to happen? Brock Lesnar came out, kicked Obafemi in the balls. Obafemi called him, you are still a bitch. Like, okay, we got the match. Bro, again, just when you think this company is digging themselves all the hole, bro, Brock Lesnar, he won up. So he like, you know what? It's going to be Brock Lesnar versus Obafemi inside Hell in a Cell. Like, oh my God. Yo, we're crazy, right? This nigga Obafemi comes out. I don't want my title shots no more. I can always get a title shot whenever I want it. Huh? What? Okay, weird as fuck, right? That's the World Heavyweight Champion. We'll get to the next title. Seth Rollins comes out. Okay, we're going to be like, okay, who's going to fight Roman? Oh, they're going to do Roman Seth. Some people are mad at Shield lore. Listen, they're two of my favorite wrestlers. Roman, my second. Seth, probably like fifth or sixth somewhere. I love the Shield. Seth Rollins comes out. Hey, Roman, you're the GOAT. You probably are the GOAT. We're some of the greatest. But you've never beaten me. So we should fight for the world title and see if you can really beat me. And Roman responds accordingly. He's like, listen, I don't just want to fight you. I don't just want to beat you. I need to beat you. Like, botched way of getting there because LA Knight brought it up the following week. He like, listen, I get I lost too, but how the hell you get to lose in the first round, don't win the tournament, and just walk up on some favoritism shit, be like, oh, I want a title shot just because I'm Seth Rollins. Like, dog, they could have literally had Brock. They could have had Brock cost Oba in the tournament. Seth and Braun be the finale of the tournament. The steel cage match happens. Seth won anyway, which that's very questionable too. I don't know what the fuck they're doing with Braun Breaker, but they had Seth win the rivalry. Have that just be the final and then have Seth have a reason to go for the King of the Ring tournament. But okay, you know what? We're getting Brock Oba Hell in the Cell. We're getting Roman Seth for the World Heavyweight Championship. Phenomenal matches. Botched way of getting there. What are we going to do with the WWE title? So, Night of Champions is a pay-per-view that happened. It happened previously to where they had a triple threat match. Cody Rhodes was the champion. He defended against Sami Zayn, and I don't know what the fuck they're doing with Gunther. Sami Zayn, they were in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is a big fan of Sami Zayn. They actually pulled the trigger and gave Sami Zayn the win. And he pinned Cody. Cody took the pin in Saudi Arabia and let Sami Zayn be the WWE champion. People were like, something seemed a little fishy here. Matter of fact, we make sure, still recording. Listen, something a little fishy here. They really, they gonna let Sami Zayn be the champion for SummerSlam? No. After just 9 days, they do some John Cena and Rey Mysterio shit to where when Rey Mysterio won the title, very quickly afterwards, they had John Cena beat Rey for the title. In just 9 days, not only do they have Sami Zayn defend the title on the show that isn't his, because right now they're doing the thing where some superstars are on Raw, some superstars are on SmackDown. They like, you know what, Sami Zayn? You're going to give Cody a rematch on Raw in Chicago. You know what? Gunther on some bitter shit, jumped Cody, kicked his head in the car, into a car door. Okay, a little aggressive. What we going to do for the title match? They're like, Sammy, you're not getting out of this one. You're still having a title fight. So even though it is not my show, and again, I think I've said on record, as a character, not the biggest Sami Zayn fan. And when you get in that ring, when you get in that booth, no complaints. His character has been way more tolerable and better as the only good guy. People are screwing me over on some Drew shit. By the way, he's understanding Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens. But very interesting and then good character work. They're like, listen, you're still gonna have a match in Chicago. They're trying to have it hidden. We're in Chicago. He's been away for months. CM Punk, my favorite wrestler of all time. It used to be Stone Cold Steve Austin. I bumped him down to third. I found out some shit about Stone Cold. I wouldn't really rock with it. So, and CM Punk was my second, so he was just boosted up to first. I really love CM Punk, and this is why I say the company is slick, because CM Punk is my favorite wrestler. Roman Reigns is my second. I'm a really big Obafemi fan. I really love Seth Rollins. We're getting a phenomenal card for the two-night SummerSlam, and they already announced it. People were wondering, Punk and Cody Rhodes are going to main event SummerSlam. Now, they didn't say which night. I do think it's going to be night one. Roman Seth main event night two. I'm like, damn. Oba Brock can't get a main event neither night. And at least I think Sancho was the first one to say it. It makes a little bit of sense because their first two matches were on ESPN. The third match be on ESPN for the first hour for free. But that just means it's going to be watered down, especially for these two beasts. Now, the first two matches were really good. The WrestleMania match was better. Second match was cool. It was, and we knew Oba had to take a loss. So now we have the tiebreaker. Hopefully, we're putting Obafemi over, and hopefully the match is really good. I just really want them to get enough time to be able to cook and for it to be as violent as they're comfortable being, because they're both beasts. Just to end the feud, is to see who gets the upper hand. Was Obafemi's win a fluke? Is Obafemi the new beast for people to be worried about? If they do get the first hour on some free shit, I just really don't want it to be watered down, and let them have the whole hour, or let them have majority of the hour to let them cook, get a good match in, let it be violent if it need be. And I think they should main event night one, and then whichever championship belt gets the main event for night two, let that be. But we know Roman Reigns get favoritism, and then now we clearly know CM Punk and Cody Rhodes get favoritism. So I guess they're going to be the main events of night one and two, and then I don't know what they're going to do with Oba Brock. And then we also got Io Sky versus Liv Morgan announced. Again, phenomenal card so far, but they had the champion, because like I said with the men, it's the same for the women. The winner of the King of the Ring tournament is supposed to get a title match in SummerSlam. They put the women's champion in the tournament. Okay. They also let her get to the final. Okay. At that point, in my opinion, especially for what they're gonna do after this, they should just have that finale be for the title and then have the rematch be at SummerSlam. But no. Champion gets to the final. She fights Io Sky. Io Sky wins. Okay, she pinned the champion. Now she deserves a title shot. Io Sky says, hey, I want my title shot against you, and let's run it at SummerSlam. Okay, common sense, but we just saw the match. Like, why do that if you're just about to run it a month later? I don't know. I don't know if they're going to put the belt back on Io. I don't know what they're going to do, but Io Sky versus Liv Morgan 2, I think it's going to be a really good match, but I don't know. Other than that, I'm going to end this show on a positive note. I'm going to get this out the way real quick. That was it from sports. Listen, there was something that came out to where 50 Cent, Busta Rhymes, Ja Rule, and Timbaland were performing at Trump Jr.'s club. Sexy Red has done that shit too again. Especially for black people. That shit is very weird. Vote for whoever you want to vote for, but certain political figures do things for people that look like me that are not the most beneficial. And this is me being as nice as possible, because it is fuck Trump. It is fuck. Like, if you want me to say that, then that's what it is. But to be as nice as possible, they just don't do the best shit for people that look like me. So that's a very weird move. I wouldn't expect more from people like 50 or Timba, but I would expect a little more from Busta Rhymes, but maybe I shouldn't. So that is what it is. But to end this on a very positive note, I'm very grateful for you guys for giving me a platform and having me have the opportunity to talk to you guys, waiting sometimes weeks for an episode. I'm going to try to get this out. If not today, then tomorrow or the next day. But that probably would be like a month the next pod. I'm really grateful for you guys sticking with me and trying to implement new ways of content and trying to figure things out and trying to take things day by day and live through life and manage all the things that come with life, working, relationship, individualism, streaming. I'm really grateful for it all. And I'm also really grateful. Shout out my girlfriend. Shout out Wanda for showing me the show From. Listen, I wasn't really on it after the first season, but I stuck with it with her. And ever since season 2, bro, this has been one of the greatest shows I've ever watched. The most recent season, I think it was season... Let me look at it. My computer is right here. Let me just... let me look up the most... It was phenomenal. That's what I'm about to end this show with. Most recent season... It was season 4. Yep, season 4. So they apparently the next season, according to my girlfriend, is going to be the last season. Bro, matter of fact, I am going to have some spoilers. Spoiler warning now, just in case if you haven't seen it. If you have, bro, we were predicting it for a minute, but the fact that Fatima actually turned into a monster in the tunnels to save them, this show is crazy. I really hope they land. I really hope the ending is really good, especially as a writer. I really hope they have the ending or how they want to end the show in mind, because they've been phenomenal since season 2, in my opinion. And the big question is what is going to happen? Are they going to get out the town? Are they going to die? Is the girl, man, them in yellow, gonna fuck people over? Like, this show is really crazy. I really recommend. It's an MGM show, I think. Watch it on whatever platform you're able to. I really recommend the show. I really appreciate my girlfriend for showing it to me. And again, I'm so grateful for you guys tuning in to the content I create. If I haven't put it in the beginning, thank you guys for following my Twitch. Hopefully I'll put it up somewhere at this part. But what I might do, I might put it at the beginning of my episode, like, you know, when I put the title track with the logo, I may put the What's on Your Mind page there, and I might do it at the end as well. It's WOYM Brinson. That's my Twitch page. I'm probably gonna be streaming either this is on recorded on Saturday, either today or tomorrow. I'm gonna be streaming the new 007 James Bond game. I just copped BO2, Call of Duty Black Ops 2. If you know a bit of my lore in real life, I wasn't allowed to play first person shooters growing up. So my first person shooter was Rainbow Six Siege, and then after that I played Cold War. Or no, as a kid I had Call of Duty Ghosts for like a week. And then, mind you, I wasn't allowed to play first person shooters. Those were the rules my parents had. So I didn't have Ghost no more. I think my dad just sold it or some shit. And then after that, Siege was my first one that I really started playing. Then I played Cold War, then BO6. I think Cold War was the first Call of Duty I felt. No. It was Cold War and Black Ops 3. I don't really feel I was the best at Black Ops 3. I feel like Cold War was the first one I was really good at, because I remember playing BO3 with my friends. Shout out Deontay. Actually, fuck the Brecci. Fuck Deontay and the Brecci. But shout out Deontay and the Brecci. I remember those days from BO3, because I didn't play BO3 when it first came out, but I think I downloaded it when it was released for free or some shit. Cold War was the first one I was good at, I felt like, and then I played BO6. I say all this to say, this will be my first time playing Call of Duty Black Ops 2. So when I stream it, and I'll say that in the stream, like, first time playing Black Ops 2. Is it cracked up to what it needs to be? I'm gonna try clickbait it, because everybody who talks about Call of Duty Black Ops 2 feel like it's the greatest Call of Duty of all time. And I watched a little bit of gameplay. It looked a little cleaner than some of the newest Call of Duties. And I'm so silly, because the first Call of Duty I really played was Cold War, like I was just saying. Well, BO3, then Cold War. I think it was Cold War first and then BO3 at the same time. I didn't know, or I didn't realize. I peeped it recently, but I didn't peep for real that they really just redo maps for each game. Because I was looking at the original Nuketown, I'm like, oh wow, that's Nuketown, and that's crazy. So it's gonna be my first time playing BO2. We're gonna try to have some fun. Whenever I get the equipment, you'll be able to see my face cam, but until the end, it'll just be my voice streaming, and then this will be the more personal form of my content. But I'm really grateful for you guys. Sorry for all the edits and the jump cuts. I'm gonna try to clean up as good as I can, but never hesitate to tell me what's on y'all mind, and I really appreciate you guys. Come to the streams, have some fun, tune into a pod. I'm really grateful for you guys, and see y'all later, man.